Last week I tried the Dragon Dude Charger Rider Army in my Th15 account and it works pretty well. I got 2.8 stars on average, 676 on the deck, and also that is the highest goal in Dragon 30 among all the Th15 players. And of course we can promote to Electro with this score. And what's even more impressive is that I did it with a very low equipment. Level 9 Fireheart, Level 12 Flame Spinner, Level 9 Warden Eternal Tone, and Level 12 Electro Boots. So if you guys have max equipment, then you will get even higher skill than me with this strategy. So now let's dive into the video and see how it works. So here we got 4 rocketloons in our army. Those rocketloons are used to funnel for our royal champion walk. And if you don't need to use a rocketloon to funnel for the royal champion, then you can still use them for the cleanup. Now let's drop 2 rocketloons to funnel for the royal champion and a super bar to camp for the royal champion and the warden so that we can delay our first invisibility spells. And notice that we bring a mini warden into this royal champion walk. It is not only used to increase the damage, but also it will increase 20% of health for both heroes and the pets. And now the royal champion, she is close to a long shot, so we use a totem spell to trigger the long shot, so the royal champion will 100% go to that long shot instead of going to other defense. Drop the siege barrack and dragon duke for the funnel on the outside, and use a queen giant arrow on some air defense. That's pretty important because the dragon duke is afraid of the air defense. We need to use some giant arrow to get the air defense. Dragon Duke ability, you should also use the Duke ability on the air defense, just like the air defense on the right hand side. I don't know why I use the rocketloons on that air defense. I should save those rocketloons for the monolith to destroy the monolith for the Dragon Duke. Since I didn't do that, the monolith is targeting the Dragon Duke after the skeleton spell expired, and the Dragon Duke died early. But we got a Phoenix on the Dragon Duke. The Dragon Duke can still get some good value with the Phoenix ability. And even the Dragon Duke didn't get the monolith with himself, we can still have some super miners. The super miners, they are coming out from the siege barrack and they can still clean some defenses on the bottom side after the Dragon Duke is dead. And see, most of the bases are gone and it's a triple for sure. The race tower in the core is very scary, so we need to use the Blue Rider army into the core of the base. To do that, we need a pretty good funnel. So I am going to use the Royal Champion Walk on one side and the Dragon Duke and Siege Barrack on another side to funnel for the both sides so that the main Blue Rider army can path into the core instead of going around on the outside. So let's deploy the Royal Champion at the bottom side of the base, and the Royal Champion will go to the left hand side and clear that fast splitter and maybe go deeper for the scatter shot. To do that, we also need to use the rocketloon to funnel for the Royal Champion. So the Royal Champion can get some key defense inside the base instead of getting some trash defense on the outside. And after that, let's drop the Siege Barrack and also Queen Giant Arrow for the air defense, but we missed one air defense. That's okay because we still got the Dragon Duke ability. The Dragon Duke ability will get another air defense so that we can protect the Dragon Duke to make him live longer. And see, there is also a clan castle in the core of the base, and you don't want to deal with the CC troops and the rage tower area at the same time. So that's why I overgrow early on the rage tower area, so we can easily deal with the CC troops without hitting so much damage. And now the overgrow expire, the rage tower get activated, so that's why we use an internal tone to protect all the troops. And after that, most of the base are gone. Let's drop some potent spell to protect our troops and heroes, and yeah, it's definitely a triple for sure. After watching some 3-star attacks, let's also learn something from the fails. Start with the Royal Champion walk on the outside, and a Valkyrie to tempt for the Royal Champion. And maybe let's drop some rocketloons to funnel for the Royal Champion. Or I guess maybe that's not necessary because the Royal Champion will go into the bottom side no matter what. So now the Royal Champion go into the bottom side and also trigger the CC troops. That's a good news. The CC troops are triple furnaces. Let's drop the poison onto those furnaces. And then maybe use some super barbs for the funnel. Drop some Ruler, Valkyrie, and Giant Arrow on the invisibility tower, and Siege Barrier Dragon 2 for the funnel. Everything seems to be fine. But why is that the fail? The first problem is that the Royal Champion. If you recall the Royal Champion too early, then the Royal Champion will go ahead of the Root Riders. That's not a good news. If you do that, then the defenses such as the Supervisor Tower here and the Ricochet Cannon here, they are all target on the Royal Champion. So that's why the Royal Champion is low. If the Royal Champion is low, then you will force your Warden ability early just to protect the Royal Champion, but the Warden ability didn't get the value you want. And that's why your main army is weak in the core. And what's even worse is that the Queen is on the outside of the base, but as you can see, they are all trash buildings on the outside. And there are so many key defenses in the core. And for the outside buildings, actually the Siege Barracks and the Dragon 2 is enough to clear anything on the outside. You don't need a Queen. The Queen should go into the core and help the main army to deal with all those stuffs because they are too much. So since we didn't path the Queen into the core of the base, the only thing that can deal the damage in this army will only be the Royal Champion because the Rider army didn't deal damage, and the Valkyries will die early because there are so many heavy defenses. And of course, the Royal Champion herself is not enough to get all the bases in the core. So that's why it's gonna be a fail in the end. Notice that there are two file splitters and both file splitters face the bottom side of the base. Many people see this and they will have the root rider from the top side go behind the file splitter. And after that, the town hall, the Riven Tower, and the multi-inferno will shut in your troops, and there's also an Invis Tower, and you might get lost on this compartment and get a 1-star. So let's try having the Royal Champion on the bottom side instead. So let's drop the Invis. And see the long shot is pretty close to a Royal Champion, so it will be pretty huge if we can use a Royal Champion to get the long shots. To do that, we need a long shot to attack on the rogue champion, so the rogue champion will go back to the long shot instead of going to other defense. So here, see, the invisibility spell, I intentionally dropped the invisibility spell 1 second late. Why? Because the long shot will attack on rogue champion in this case, and the rogue champion will go to that long shot when the long shot is attacking on the rogue champion. So the rogue champion will not go to the defense and we get the long shots. And after that, let's drop the siege barrier for the funnel and the rule riders pathing from the right hand side into the base. And here, as you can see, there are all trash buildings on the outside of the walls. And again, you don't want your queen on the outside and do nothing. So instead of dropping all rule riders into the main army, this time I leave one rule rider for the queen. So see, the rule rider actually will break for the queen. So now the queen can go inside the base and get more value. And when the overgrowth spell expires, then you can use the Word Internal Tone for all the core of the base. And after that, the base is gone and we can easily get the triple for sure. The last base we're going to talk about today is the double invis base. Yes, it looks simple, but many people don't know how to deal with that when you are doing a rogue champion walk. And here we got a skeleton spell and some invis spell. So actually you can use a skeleton spell and an invis spell on the invisibility tower area. So in this case, you can trigger the invisibility tower early, and after that drop some rocketloons to funnel for the rogue champion walk, and use the rogue champion warden apprentice warden directly into the invis tower. So now we get all the core of the invis. After that, there are still some buildings and heroes that we haven't yet. Let's drop a totem spell to distract the single inferno and those two heroes so we get all of them and we can recall them back. The siege barrack on the outside for funnel, then drop the queen giant arrow to trigger one invisibility tower. Then we can drop all the rule riders, ice golem, Valkyrie into the core of the base. So we are planning to use the Word Internal Tone in the temple area of the base. Let's drop a freeze to protect the rogue champion from getting hit, but there is still a single inferno tower targeting the rogue champion. Let's use the Warden ability to protect the rogue champion. But sadly, that single inferno tower is still locked onto the rogue champion. That's why we use the overgrowth spell on that single inferno tower. And yeah, most of the base is gone, and it's a triple. And that's how we deal with the double invisibility base, if you don't know how to deal with that. So this is all of the content today. Comment down below if you want to see more Th15 attacks, and I will see you in the next video.